Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dad's just finishing up the phaser block on the LT4. Video we showed how to install one that had the like a little cutout. Right. So this one would go either way.
Either way. This one has a cutout in it.
This one has a cutout in it. Yeah. So, and what we, like I said, if you watch the phaser video that's on the channel, the only thing we can figure is there's a oil galley that goes through, and that'll let the oil drip down. And it's like the only thing we can think about. But I mean, I don't think it makes that big of a deal when you get them like this, right? You block it out. So
yeah, that was I think Crane Company had that one in a kit, and others.
And you're saying this LT4 phaser was a hair different than the ones you've done before?
It seemed like the spring had to go a lot further to get the
So the spring had
pin
more,
in it.
like maybe more tension or something?
Maybe so. It just seemed a little bit different to me.
And everything, all the bolts are back on, and these are 85 inch-pounds is the torque on these. Yeah.
So you don't break them.
Yeah, we try to help ourselves sometimes. We try to make sure. A lot to keep up with.
It is a lot.
So what I'm doing now is I'm about to start chasing these threads on the LT4 so we can blow everything off. So homemade little head bolt thread chaser, and just cut grooves in it. So we're gonna run that down in there and start chasing those threads, blow everything out, clean it up, and then put the cam in. All right, so I finished chasing the threads, blew everything out really good with the air compressor. And one of the things I need to get going right now is I want to go ahead and soak his lifters. I don't know if it's necessary, but we still do it. So he spent some good money on some Johnson lifters. I'm going to go ahead and get them soaking while I'm doing the cam install. I still got to do the DOD plugs and all that stuff. So I'm just going to get these opened up and get some fresh oil in here in this clean jar I got, and get them soaking while we're doing everything else. Oh, no free sticker. Come on now. So these are pretty cool. A little different looking than a normal lifter. It's got their logo on it. And then this is black. So a little different. Supposed to be really good lifters. There we go. Before I screw around and forget, which I've never forgotten these, but go ahead and get our DOD caps popped in. Simple deal. They just pop down in there. Done deal. About to get the cam lubed up and go ahead and get it in. But before I do, real quick, for anybody interested, this is what's getting put in. It's a big cam card nowadays, but yeah. So that's what's getting put in there. And then here's kind of what it takes to do this. This is you can pause it if you'd like. A lot of parts. This one comes with a fuel pump lash cap, which reminds me there's a guy that wanted to know a little bit more about the lifter, the fuel pump lifter. So, but as you can see, it says do not use included lash cap for LT4 fuel pumps. This is an LT4 with LT4 pump. So I'll put this back in the box for the guy, but we're not going to put it on. Going in. All right, before I forget, there was a guy, he commented on the video, he wanted a little bit more information about the fuel pump lifter. So what can we tell him about it?
It's just like a roller lifter, just a big one.
Yep.
It fits in this holder. Okay.
Okay.
It does have a hole here for oiling.
Okay.
It takes oil as it goes up and down and keeps that little wheel rolling on oil. And there's an oil passage back here that comes into this cylinder that's supplied back here off of this. This has all holes right here.
Yeah.
And it comes up from the oil pump. So this thing just sits in here.
And it rides on top of
Rides on top of that cam that's in there. It's got a big lobe on that cam, and as it rolls around, it pushes this guy up and down.
And it hits the bottom of that fuel pump.
Yeah, and then on some occasions where you got a big cam, lumpy cam in it, it requires more fuel, so you have a lash cap that will fit over this.
I just showed the cap, and the cap for this one says do not install if using LT4 pump. So we're using LT4 pump, so we're not going to put it in. And then you just tighten that one bolt up, and it's 18 foot-pounds.
Yep.
And that's it. It's done deal. It's
done deal.
Pretty simple deal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's something to remember to put in for sure when you're building these things. And so I hope that helps the guy out. I forgot which video it was, like I said, but he had asked a comment about, hey, can you tell a little more information about that? So
it just sits there on and rolls.
Yeah, it's just a big lifter.
Just a big old lifter.
Big old lifter.
Okay.
So camshaft retainer bolts, I got them snugged down just barely by hand. They are 11 foot-pounds. So, which doesn't seem like a lot, but they're Torx and they suck.
But those look like they're healthy, so that's good.
Yeah, those are in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
And that's 11 foot-pounds with blue Loctite on them. So. I think I mentioned it. This is a T40. So like we stated, we're not going to put the lash cap on the fuel pump lifter because the LT4 pump is just slightly different. There's a few little small differences.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you wanted to point out the differences. I've got a 6.2 pump back here.
Yeah, we could do that on camera here.
Yeah. Yeah. So LT4 pump is this one. This is a L86 6.2 pump.
They look similar, but they're not.
Yep. So you want to show the difference that we can see. If you look inside that orifice there's one hole in the center, and then there's 4 holes on the outer ring of it. If you look in this orifice, it's just one hole in the center, and that's it. And then also, this one comes out, the feed comes out of the center.
Yeah.
And then this one comes out of the bottom.
Right.
So it's a more PSI pump, I guess, because like I said, this is supercharged. And if we look at the part numbers, probably, yeah, this one ends in 4345. This one ends in 5316. So we're not experts on this. We just take things apart and put things back together. But
that's how you learn.
All right. So you wanted this. You kind of asked for a specific tool.
Yep.
And I came up with something. I don't know if it's exactly what you wanted.
Yep.
But it's going to help us align these cams up with the small, tiny little dowel that's on them.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, can you show everybody?
And it goes in the back of the phaser.
Yeah.
It's the bigger hole. Yeah.
This dowel pin lines up with this hole here.
Yeah.
And
like I said, either we're getting, these dowels are on these cams are getting smaller, or we're getting older. I'm not sure.
Well, we are getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where you want that. Look back here, straight across. That's about where we want it.
Yeah, usually about in the 3. You want the dowel in about the 3 o'clock position. Piston 1 up, piston 6 up.
The reason I needed the tool is because of this cam. It wants to do this.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
And when it does that, you got problems trying to line it up. Turn the crank.
Right.
So I need to turn the cam, and here we go, screwing this thing.
Let me loosen up the fuel pump lifter for you.
Yeah.
See if that'll help.
I'll pop in. There it is, right there. It's in.
Okay.
Now we get this guy.
Got your new phaser bolt. Back out the tool. I'm just holding pressure on this to keep it in the dowel. It's a lot of threads there.
It's fine threaded.
This is a 24 millimeter, same as the crank bolt. There we are. So once we get everything else, we'll have to get the proper torque, which is 48 foot-pounds and then 90 degrees on the phaser bolt. But that's pretty much it. A little cumbersome. I guess the tool helped.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're dot to dot. Y'all can see that. There's your arrow with your pointed down. There's your dot on your crank. piston 1, piston 6. So 48 foot-pounds is the first torque spec, which should be right there pretty quickly. There it is. And then 90 degrees. So we're going to go into our degree mode here.
You showing them?
Well, I mean,
yeah, you know what it is.
So let it calibrate, and then change this to 90 degrees, which is very scary on a phaser bolt. All right, so 90 degrees. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Woo! And the reason why I say it's scary, I got an old. Here's the old phaser bolt.
Yeah, the old one.
Here's the old phaser bolt. The reason why it's scary is the way it necks down right there. To me,
right,
it loses strength. Right.
And then look at the end. It's got a hole all the way through it.
And then it's hollow, right?
Yeah.
And you're putting 48 foot-pounds and 90 degrees. I think it's. I don't know what that works out to. It's probably 75, 80 foot-pounds.
Yeah.
Just seems to be a lot. We ain't broke one yet, but I mean it could happen. We got a brand new oil pump for it. This had the LT4 pump, which would not work with the muscle car oil pan. So LT4 pump's gone. Regular LT, Gen 5 LT pump, and then muscle car oil pan. We didn't do the locators on this because brand new pump, brand new bolts, has the plastic insert. No need for locators. So I'm going to take these bolts out, put the new pump on. Then we can get the front timing cover on. We've already put a new seal in the front timing cover. The guy ordered a new seal for it, so we got the new front seal. So we'll get the front timing cover on, then we'll put the oil pump on. Oil pump, front timing cover, oil pan. That's the plan. And while I'm doing that, Dad's taking all the lifters that's been soaking out and put them in a box so they just don't drip everywhere and make a mess when we go to put them in. All right, so we got the new oil pump on. Just got to tighten it up. It's 13 millimeter, and I'm assuming it's 18 foot-pounds, I think is what it is.
It is.
So. There we are.
Pretty good with that, man.
Yeah.
Done it a time or two.
Done a few, yeah. I don't think either.
Oh no.
So we used to be in the LS business. That's slowly fading out. Every once in a while we'll get one. And then our two longer ones here. Two longer ones go at the bottom, everybody, if you're wondering, if you're looking. Two longer ones go at the bottom. 13 millimeter. 18 foot-pounds.
18 foot-pounds.
Anybody cares? All right, we're getting ready to put the oil pan on now. Big step here, big step. I think I've went over it in every video we've done. Right here. Forget to do this, you are not going to be happy.
True. Very true.
So Dad's going to wipe down the surface with alcohol. As soon as he gets done, I'll run the bead of silicone. I ain't showed them the pan yet for this one. They haven't seen it.
Woo, it's a pretty pan.
It's different.
It's a money shot.
I've probably only done 2 of these pans before. I don't know how much longer I can keep using this empty tube of silicone. It's like the 3rd weekend in a row that I've used this.
Until it runs out. How's that?
Well, I think we're getting close because I am feeling like it's coming to an end.
Well, I ordered 2 from the...
Yeah. This stuff's expensive. This is the Ultra Gray is what we use, Permatex Ultra Gray.
Yeah. Some people won't use it. They want to use that cheap stuff.
Yeah, don't use the cheap stuff, please.
No. If you ever have to go back into it, you'll know why.
That's it, man. I'm done.
Okay?
Yep.
Pop it. Pop it.
We've used it for all we can use it for.
I'm going to cut this end off and you'll be ready to go.
Okay. Actually, if you
Yeah, you save that in, we just screw that one on here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I got a good what we're going to do is just keep using the same end if you've already cut it. I don't know. Just a thing.
Let's see if it works here.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're good to go.
Look at that. Like it never stopped.
Yep, just start back up where I stopped. Ain't had one leak yet.
Okay. Maestro.
There we go. We got a rubber. We got 2 other rubbers. Everything's ready to go. Polish pan. Look at that. That is different.
Hey, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good right now.
Y'all have all seen this 1,000 times. 18 foot-pounds, 8.8. These are 10 millimeter. Factories are 13. So I just snug them down real quick with the small DeWalt, and then the dad's going to torque them down real fast. Not a lot of difference between 9 foot-pounds and 8.8. Once again, I don't. Some of these torque things, I don't. How's that critical? Not critical torque. Just tighten it down with the DeWalt and move on with your life. So we are getting close to putting the heads on, right?
Yeah.
So chased the threads, blew all the bolt holes out. Everything's good. Got to put the dowels in real quick.
Supercharged motors have different gaskets.
Head gaskets are different. Yep.
And you see this black that's coming off? That's from the old gasket. Even though it looks like it's clean, it's not. So you have to use alcohol and work that stuff off because you want a good, clean surface.
Did you already get the dowels out of here?
I got them over here.
Oh, that's why I can't find them.
Yeah, I got the dowels. You can go ahead and put them in that side if you want to. Okay. They're in one of them piston holes.
Oh, I see them.
And we use the alcohol to clean this goop off because even though it looks like it'd be okay, with a supercharged motor, you're putting boost in it, which is a lot more than a normal motor has when it ignition fires in that hole. You want it to hold that cylinder pressure in there. So
yeah, I was shocked that there are different head gaskets.
yeah, I thought, you know, evidently the reds are for the non-supercharged motors.
Yeah, these aren't red. They're
Yeah, these are black.
black.
And that's what this goop is that's coming off of here. I mean, you got to really get it clean.
These are black. They're made in Germany for GM. And they have the designated SC on them, which would tell me supercharged.
Yes.
So, a little different.
Yeah.
And they're more expensive, you said?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Unbox this. They are beak bolts here, head bolts for this guy's motor here. See what we got here. Oh yeah, look what we got. Got some paper. That's great looking paper. I like to keep this paper. Like when I paint the engines and stuff, I take this paper, it's real good, and instead of throwing it away, I recycle it, but I put it in all the intake and exhaust ports when I'm spraying these motors, so I'll save that. That's good to keep. Got some stickers here. Okay. And some assembly instructions there.
So I got the head surface clean. The head's clean. Did you wipe the block surface is good?
Block's ready to go. Okay. So what we got here is some star nuts. Show you what they look like. Good gosh. There's 10 pieces here. So you got to have a socket that'll fit that, which is 16 point, or what do they call it?
Is it 12 point?
Yeah, probably 12. I'm at 12 point.
Yeah, I think we got one somewhere.
So there's those guys.
So he didn't go with head bolts. He went with head studs.
Yes, this is a different deal here.
Different deal.
Let's see. These are the same, just making sure the numbers are correct. That's the same number as this one, so.
Oh, there's the nuts, yeah.
Nuts are.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the installation instructions while you're doing that.
I think it's pretty
Probably
much, it's gonna be the same as it was. It just, we got roll these studs in first, and then I'm thinking you put the studs in before we put the heads on. Makes sense to me. And just slide it over.
Tells you right there to clean the threads in the block with a thread chaser. It's already been done.
Good.
Clean the cylinder head and clean the engine surface. Done. Install a new head gasket. I ain't done that yet. So you put the head gasket on, it says. Then screw the studs into the block hand tight. Do not apply any torque. The hex broach in the end of the stud is designed to assist with installing and removing the studs from the block, not for applying torque. So you're just going to run that down with a hex until it stops.
Okay. To get any thread lubricant or anything? They say anything?
I'm still reading.
Okay, sir.
Lubricate the stud threads and bottom of the nuts with ARP Ultra Fastener Assembly Lubricant. Then install the nuts onto the studs and tighten hand tight. Follow the manufacturer's recommendation torque sequence below. So they want first pass 40, second pass 80, and the last pass 115. I'm glad we got that new torque wrench. 115 is a lot.
Yes.
Going into an aluminum block, it's a little scary. But, it is what it is. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Screw the stud into the block. Do not apply torque. So right there. So they go in dry. They go into the block dry.
Here we go.
There we go. Apply torque. So when they're talking about lubricating, you lubricate the threads and the bottom of the nuts. And that's it. So that's after the head's already on.
We might have to get some more strength on this one down here.
I cleaned them all out real good, so should not be a problem.
There it is. It finally got there.
Come over here. I got one head on already.
And there's no difference to either side of the washer. They're just flat washers is all they are.
So it ain't like the studs themselves.
No.
I mean, the head bolts. The
Yeah.
head bolts, there's a big difference.
So, I will go ahead and slide these on for you. But you're going to be the guy.
To work, and it says you want this clean, which it's clean here, so we're good there.
And
We don't build race engines, but this one's about as close as what I would call a race motor, I reckon, right? It's got a big cam, special rods, LT4, deal. When I say special rods, they're factory LT4, but they're different. So then you got to apply lube, it says right after that.
yeah.
Make sure we do this right. Lubricate the threads and the bottom of the nuts. And tighten them up. So when you get the ARP bolt kit, the washer is not the same. It's chamfered. These are not chamfered. It says to lubricate the threads
Yes.
and the bottom of the nuts with
So-
their special assembly lube.
I'm going to get a paintbrush that we can use to lubricate the threads with. And put my gloves on. This stuff is really nasty. If it gets in your pores of your skin, you wear it for a while. The assembly lube right here.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like graphite.
Put it in
or
there.
something.
It's like graphite. Got me a brush.
Yep.
Dip it in there. Get it all
And you're
gooey.
gonna brush it on the threads.
Brush it on the
the
threads.
head stud threads here. Okay. Easy enough. All right, so the direction said to lube the stud threads and the bottom of the nut, but when you lube the stud threads, stud threads, you actually get some on the washer anyway.
So just use a paintbrush. And
Yep. Paintbrush idea was pretty good idea.
pretty good idea.
So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling, bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling, I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing, you've got nothing, I'll keep hustling.